what's up? It's Leisha. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a hair review, the first hair review on my channel, and it is a review on the Hergivenhair curly extensions. I actually wore their curly hair last summer, but I feel like the texture has changed a little bit since then. So I wanted to go ahead and try out the curly wefts again and see how I feel about it and see if I'm still loving it. So yeah, this is going to be a review on the hair. I'm currently rocking two 22-inch bundles, a 20-inch bundle, and then a 20-inch closure. So I have in all three bundles in a closure. I'm actually very surprised because whenever I wore their hair last year, I believe I had in like a 16-inch, I believe I had in 16-inch bundles and like an 18-inch bundle. And I feel like the hair was so full, like a little bit too full. So I only used about 2 bundles, but this time I used all 3 bundles in a closure, and I feel like it's still a pretty good size. It's not like overwhelmingly big. It's not like crazy thick. It's actually a really good amount. So I'm loving the lengths of these extensions. The extensions on me stop at about, just about like armpit length. I did go ahead and cut off just a little bit of the ends just to make sure that the ends are very full and thick. The shipping was actually very fast. I believe I ordered the hair on Friday and it got here on Wednesday. So about 3 or so business days, super fast. It was delivered via FedEx and it came in this Hergivenhair box here. Very standard packaging as far as the bundles go. Each bundle was in a kind of a plastic bag, so nothing fancy there, but I mean, who cares? As long as it looks good and it feels good and it doesn't smell, I am all for it. The hair didn't have a smell at all, no shedding, no tangles, very manageable straight out the box. So those are all good signs at the beginning that I am working with hopefully some good quality hair. I pulled the hair straight out the box, co-washed it. I did go ahead and seal the wefts as well because I really wanted to kind of help minimize any possible shedding there may be. Especially with curly hair, you want to kind of minimize it as much as possible. So yeah, I went ahead and sealed the wefts on both sides. And once the fray check, which is what you use to seal your wefts, once that was all dry, I created a wig using all 3 bundles in the closure. So I'll go ahead and show you guys exactly how I made the wig and how I blended out my leave out, my very little leave out with the extensions. And then I will come back and give you guys my initial thoughts on the curly hair itself. For my wigs, I use a mesh dome cap that I purchased from my local beauty supply store. To begin the process, I first sew down my lace closure, and I pretty much just line the closure up with the end of the dome cap so that way everything is nice and even. And I begin to sew using a thread and a needle. I start on one side and work my way around the other side of the closure, making sure to sew nice and neat to prevent any bulkiness. I wrap the thread around the needle twice like you guys see in the video, and that keeps the thread from loosening over time. I also knot the thread a few times when I reach the end of the closure to keep the closure intact and keep it attached to the dome cap. This is how my closure looks once I have sewed it down. It's nice, tight, and isn't going anywhere. Trust me, y'all. I could pull on it and that closure would not budge at all. To make sewing down my wefts a bit easier, I pre-thread about 4 or 5 needles so that way I don't have to stop every few minutes just to rethread one needle. Trust me, it can be annoying. So I start off by pre-threading a few and it gets me done a lot faster. Sewing down the actual wefts is pretty easy. I start my first track around the ear area of the dome cap and sew doing the flip over method, meaning I don't cut the wefts. I simply just flip each track over when I reach the other side. And I keep doing that back and forth until I reach the closure. I'm doing the same technique here as I did with the closure, where I wrap the thread twice around the needle to help secure the wefts a bit more and to prevent loosening. This is what I meant about doing the flip over method. Instead of cutting each weft when I reach the other side, I simply just flip the weft over and sew back to the other side. This saves on time and also helps to prevent shedding tremendously. You just want to make sure to sew the flip over in a way that lays the wig as flat as possible. Now just keep sewing back and forth until you reach the closure. Side note, I did have to make this wig twice because the first time was a complete fail and I accidentally cut a few pieces while taking the first wig apart. So if you guys happen to see a weft that looks short, I just want to give you a heads up that it's not that short by any means. I just cut it when taking apart the other wig that I attempted to make. So just FYI, it's not short. It was just my fault. But the curly bundles are actually pretty thick and long. So yeah, just a heads up. One thing I forgot to mention is to make sure that you do not sew through the elastic band in the dome cap. If you do, the cap will lose its elasticity and it'll be hard for the wig to fit snug on your head. This is the completed wig. It is gorgeous, you guys. I love how the hair can be flipped over to any side, or I can wear it with the part. So much versatility. Off camera, I did cut off the part of the dome cap that was under the lace closure, and I eventually cut off the extra lace at the front because of course we don't need that. The next day, I had my stylist braid my hair and sew the wig down for me because I want to see how the hair holds up when being used consistently, not just every other day. I want to see how it's being used consistently on a 24/7 basis. So I had her do that, and then I do have my perimeter left out to keep the look very natural and realistic looking, and I just did 2 simple flat twists to help blend my leave out. Can y'all see how well my leave out blends with the curly wefts? I seriously love this texture so much because it really mimics and blends in well with my natural hair. Just going to do a little bit of fluffing here and there, but overall the curls are effortless on its own. To help smooth my edges, I'll be taking the Eco Styler gel. It's the flaxseed and castor oil one, and just apply that to my edges and make sure that they're nice and smooth and laid. And that is it. That is how I style my hair on an everyday basis. Super simple and super easy. This hair currently has no product in it. There is no leave-in, no styler, no nothing. So this is the natural, very natural texture of the hair. It is such a pretty texture. It is very, very, very curly, but it is so, so, so pretty. Perfect for girls with 3C, 4A-ish hair. And then they also have a coolier texture for girls with 4B, 4C hair. So they have something for every natural out there. And I'm just obsessed with how just natural and realistic this hair looks. It blends in with natural hair very, very, very well. As far as the quality of the hair goes, you guys, I am obsessed with it. Like totally and completely obsessed. I actually compared the texture of the previous curly hair that I had from them from last year. I compared that to this texture here. And this curly hair is a little bit like kinkier than the texture from last year. I'm not sure why that changed and why it's a little bit different. But personally, I love this texture so much more. I find this mimics more so 3C, 4A-ish hair, which is my texture. So it matches my natural hair so much more. There is very, very, very minimal shedding. When I say minimal, I do mean minimal. Of course it does shed because it is curly hair, and what curly hair doesn't shed, but it is very, very, very minimal. It tangles, it is what it is, but it's not like an excessive amount. Like with crochet hair, it will tangle like to no end. It tangles really bad. This hair, since it is human hair and it is good quality hair, it tangles very minimally. So yeah, you might get a few tangles here and there, but it's so easy to kind of run your fingers through it or just kind of pull the small tangles apart and you are good to go. This hair is so, it's just bomb. Like it is so, so, so bomb. A little bit on the pricier side. It is such good quality to where it's worth the investment. In my personal opinion, I would actually genuinely purchase this hair myself because of how great quality it is, and I know it will last me for quite a while. Of course, I will come back in a few weeks and give you guys my final thoughts on how the hair held up and how the hair holds up while being sewn onto a wig or sewn onto your hair and it being used in a consistent everyday basis. But so far, you guys, I have no complaints at all. If you are interested in purchasing the hair, go ahead and click the link down below and it will lead you directly to the website and you can purchase this curly hair here. Like I mentioned, I do have in the curly wefts. I am rocking two 22-inch bundles, a 20-inch bundle, and a 20-inch closure. So yeah, go ahead and check out the link down below. If you have any questions about the hair, go ahead and comment down below as well, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. So yeah, go ahead and comment those down below. Check out the link down below to purchase the hair, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye guys. Mwah.